Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel again, and if you're new here, my name is Keelan, and today I wanted to make a video just talking about a realization I had about reading and falling into reading slumps and how to get out of them. And it all just feels really simple, but sometimes like a thought will just occur to you and you will be like, why did I not realize that before? So I have been, as everyone knows who has watched my channel for a while, I'm obsessed with our library, and it is just around the corner from the house. I'm always at the upper limit with the number of books I take out. I basically hoard books from the library, and then I do read them, but I probably only need to get out one or two at a time, not like 20. But anyway, so the thing that I realised when I was walking today was that I had been reading a book called, I can't even remember the name, something to do with berry picking. And I was reading it and it was taking me a really, really long time to get through it. And I was wondering why it was taking me so long, because before that I just finished 2 books in quick succession and I had flown through them. And then I was sitting at the table sort of attempting to read it over my morning coffee, and my daughter said to me, like, how long have you been reading that for? And I was like, I don't know, but it feels like a long time because it's boring. And she was like, why are you reading it? And then I realised that, like, the librarian had said something to me too about how she gives a book a chance till 100 pages and then gives up on it if she's fed up with it. So I decided to just kind of release myself from the obligation to read it and to like just put it aside and start reading something else. And it feels like a really obvious realization, but sometimes I do waste a lot of time reading things that I don't want to be reading. And I will tell myself I'm in a reading slump and I just can't concentrate and I am too distracted, and I'll have phases where like I fly through books, and then other times where I'm like dragging my heels. But then I realized maybe it's not necessarily a reading slump, maybe it's about the book, and maybe the book is just dull, and that doesn't mean that everyone will find it dull, but maybe it's just not your book. And like I had people like telling me that that book would be really good, and I read the reviews almost looking for validation that like, yeah, it's unreadable. But maybe other people can love it and I just happen to not like it because it's not my thing, and that's fine. And then I was thinking about like how, you know, that feeling of kind of pure excitement when you're reading a book and you can't wait to get back to reading it. I love that feeling, and I get that a lot, especially with like having kids. I'll have times in the day that are really frantic and I'll sort of daydream about like, I can't wait till later to get back into that book and find out what happens. And those are the only books that I feel like I should be reading at this stage, because I'm not studying anymore and I don't have to read anything I don't want to. And also, like, in the end of the day, I was sort of thinking, like, what is it that you're trying to prove by reading books that you don't actually enjoy? Like, you're not going to get a certificate for finishing it. And quite often when I do persevere with a book that I don't like, I'll reach the end of it and think, like, that never improved, and I've just wasted part of my life reading something that I won't even remember after I close it. And I just think that that can be applied to life in general. Like, there's no point in forcing yourself to do things that feel like they come unnaturally and that they're really like a chore to you. Like, why not put your time and focus and attention into things that bring you pure joy and that make you forget about time? And like, I don't really think as well that, like, I know that I noticed something yesterday. I can't even remember where I saw it, but it was I think it was on a documentary. It was something about like apps. Oh, I know what it was. It was when my partner and I were looking at our new TV and just figuring out what features were on it and stuff, and just kind of familiarizing ourselves with it. And there was a bit that said something like apps for when you're bored and you want to kill time. And I was thinking like what is the point in that? Like, there are a million better uses for your time. Like, why do we need to kill time? Like, time should feel like a gift. Like, we should fill our time with things that make us feel alive, not things that are kind of making our minds go dead. And I just think that, like, that's quite sad to like think that you want to sort of be so disconnected from yourself and the things that you love that you are just trying to pass time, like basically hurrying life along till you're dead. And I just don't want to live like that. Like, I want to spend my time intentionally doing things that make me happy. And I think everybody deserves that. And yeah, like that's how I feel like it kind of starts with my thoughts about reading, because why read something if it's not fun? Like, why put yourself through that? Like, nobody is going to put on your gravestone, like, she didn't read War and Peace. Like, nobody cares what you've read and what you haven't read. Reading is purely for your own pleasure, and everybody has their own tastes. And maybe if you're struggling to make your way through a type of book, it's because that book isn't for you, and there might be another genre that you absolutely love. Even if it's like Mills and Boon, like, that's your choice. And that isn't like my thing reading wise. Like, I do like something with a bit of depth to it, but I want something that flows easily and that I read with, and I forget that I'm even reading. Like, I forget I'm actually physically reading when I'm reading it. It's like you're just in the world of that book, and it sort of just transports you to another place. And like, I just think that I want to kind of live my life like that. Like, I want to be immersed in things that make me forget about time, not because I'm trying to kill it, but just because I'm having so much fun that I'm not even aware of it anymore. And I just think there's no better feeling than being completely engrossed with something to the point where the clock no longer seems to exist. And yeah, like, otherwise it feels like you're just waiting for death, and you're kind of just like cheating yourself out of all the opportunities in life that you have, even to just have fun. So yeah, that was just a thought I had today, and I know it's kind of more than just about reading, but reading was what kind of prompted it in my mind. And I've started reading this book, Ghost Mountain, and I absolutely love it so far. Like, I'm not far enough in to be able to give you an honest kind of review of what it actually is like, but so far it's really unusual. It's about a mountain that basically pops up out of nowhere, and then it's just talking about the characters that live near it. And I haven't got further than that right now, but I just think it's a really interesting premise for a book, and I'm finding it's one of those books so far where I'm like dying to read it, and I'm like, let's get the chores done so I can get into it. But yeah, I need to make pizza dough today because it's Friday, and Fridays are pizza night, and I need to make pizza sauce. And then I'm taking the girls swimming when they get out of school. And yeah, that's about it. Like, I just want to do things that like kind of bring joy. And I think when you're doing things that make you joyful, like, that feeling carries to the people around you too, and it's contagious. And yeah, it's just like the best way to live your life, because I think it's important to remember every day too that it's like a gift. Like, I sometimes will realize when I wake up, I'm like, I'm still here, like, I'm still in the world. That's kind of crazy, because like, you might not have woken up, and then you wouldn't have like another day to kind of create opportunities for yourself and to have experiences that make you feel alive. So yeah, and I just want to make the most of that. So yeah, I just wanted to share those thoughts with you, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.